guys and gals, welcome to the Oxford Holy Club, a place where we ready ourselves to give an answer for the hope that's in us. We will also try to answer your questions, random questions from the interwebs, and have some fun too. So put some seatbelts on your ears because we're in for a wild ride. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Oxford Holy Club, episode 143, entitled Leveled Up, Ice Cream, Bread, and Vacations. We're coming to you live here March 23rd. I'm coming from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Again, my name is Brad Siliker. We're joined by another host, Andrew Beckwith. Andrew, where are you broadcasting from?
Live from St. John, New Brunswick.
Whoa!
It's the what's a nice place?
The home of pulp and oil.
Home of Donald Sutherland. Birthplace.
Ooh, that's
Donald
true.
Sutherland.
Really?
Take that away. And one of the M's from MGM Studios.
Wow.
Yes, I did hear that too. Yeah.
That's incredible. And wow, I didn't expect any of that. And then joining us down below, coming all the way from Fredericton, New Brunswick is...
My name is Lucas Candy. I'm broadcasting from Fredericton, New Brunswick, or as weird people call it, Freddie Beach, but I don't care for it.
People, the whole place?
I thought there was a Freddie Beach. It's not. There's no Freddie Beach.
I don't know where that would be. I mean, Killarney Lake, maybe? Like... Yeah, people are like, Freddie Beach. And I was like, is there a Freddie Beach somewhere that I don't know? I'm like, and why are people calling it that? And I don't know. I shouldn't talk down on this place. It's my adopted home. But anyway, I'm not talking down the place. The place is amazing. Freddie Beach, the name, the moniker, I'm less excited about.
Okay.
You're going to get kicked out.
Well, everybody, welcome. And if you are one of the lucky few that started watching the podcast within the last week because we were streaming video game content, be prepared to get very confused, as the people that normally watch at this time were confused by the video game content. As you may or may not be aware, we have a website. It is www.oxfordholyclub.com, and from there you can find out more about us, your hosts, what we are as a podcast, and links to our social media. I do want to make mention very quickly, we'd love for you, if you're watching, just say hello in the chat, drop a like on the podcast. If you click the share button on Facebook, that would, share this podcast with other people that may be interested in it. And please comment along as we're having conversation. We love to be able to talk with you all. So, gentlemen, it has been a week since we have really done this together. So why don't we take just a few minutes and let's get into a little catching up. How you feel about that?
Excited.
Great. So good.
Good. I'm so glad. The energy here it's exciting. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
It's electric. Well, guys, spring is in the air. It feels like that should be a song. I'm pretty sure it might be Love is in the Air, but
Probably.
Spring is in the air. Anyway, why don't we start with you, Lucas? What's been going on with you over the course of the week?
Pretty normal week. Nothing too exciting, back to school, all that rigmarole. I guess I've been back 2 weeks now, but, a couple little things. I'm on the home stretch for my master's. I just kind of wound down my 8th course of 10 courses. So I'm pretty excited. I got my stuff done a little bit early, so I have like a month off before my next one starts. So I have one early summer, one late summer, then I'm home free.
How long are the
Nice.
courses? Question. How long are the courses?
The courses are usually around the summer ones are 2 months a pop, and then the rest of the year they're like 3 or 4 months. So the summer ones are like accelerated or whatever. So, and most of the time the profs don't really accelerate them that much, but except last summer I had a guy who's like, well, I teach this much course and it's an accelerated course. So normally I get you to read, 1,000 pages. So it's going to be, 2,000 pages seems fair. So he was taking it serious. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. So I'm getting kind of excited. It feels like I just started it. So it's been an interesting experience. I've started doing this thing now where for the final paper, I email the professor and ask him if I can do a video submission instead of a paper submission. And,
Goldbergs.
Is that something they did?
That's what Adam does for every assignment.
Because I had to do it for something. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like it was for a course I had 2 papers for. And I was like, I wonder. And it was the guy who gave us like 1,000 pages of everything. He was like a stickler for stuff. I said, hey, instead of this like 5,000 word paper, could I do a video instead? Like, I mean, the camera loves me, so that's visually is the medium I want. Anyway, but he was like, yeah, but it can't be longer than 5 minutes. I'm like, it only has to be 5 minutes. I'm like, this is amazing. So anyway, so now every professor I asked them, and I did it for this last professor as well. And he's like, yeah, sure, go for it. All I said is I gave him this whole long thing, and he just wrote ... Yeah, why not? Go for it. Didn't give me a time frame. Didn't give me anything. So I just
they don't care.
Did my thing.
And, well, I thought about paycheck.
I was like, if I was a teacher, well, I am a teacher. Like, if the kid's like, hey, instead of this paper, which you probably are not looking forward to reading and marking, would you rather do a video? I was like, yes, please, 100%.
Yes.
So anyway, so that was pretty good. So when I told Melissa, she's like, you ask all the professors that. I'm like, hey, it works. But I'll stop doing it when it stops working.
But it's super smart, because if I was a teacher, which I'm not, and I was getting submissions in, the beautiful thing about videos is that you can speed them up to the point, like, you know what I'm saying? So like 3 times speed, if you're used to that, and then it's over. Instead of sitting there watching this person stumble through reading something, or you having to read through something, it's just there. You got it. You speed it up, and it's over.
So what's like the content of a 5-minute video? What are you trying to get across?
My last video was 10 minutes, and it was what is my philosophy of education?
Wait, give us the Cliff Notes or Cole's notes.
Let's watch the video. Pull the video up. Watch the whole thing.
Pull the video. 10 minutes. Everybody, let's watch it in glorious 1080p. No, basically just talking about the importance of building a strong staff culture, mentorship, casting a good vision and a good why behind the vision. So that's the Cole's notes. And even that was probably not exciting for you guys to hear. But yeah, but I'm like, and partially because I do this all the time, I'm very comfortable doing like recordings. So like I spend like half an hour or less like sketching out what I'm going to talk about. I do a practice run by myself, and then one take and I'm done. So yeah, it's pretty low maintenance for me.
Good for you, man. That's awesome. Okay.
And the guy's like, wow, sweet sound quality, great microphone quality.
Is that a snowball?
All right. So so the Masters is, you're winding down, man. You're on the home stretch. What else has been going on?
Let's see here. I wrote something, and then the interview thing. And then, well, last night, actually, I got a win in the game Warzone, which I've gotten the wins in the game Warzone before, but what made it kind of special is it was without Andrew. And what makes that special is because Andrew is a 10 times better player than I am. So I've always kind of in the back of my mind been like, I'm just the leech on his underbelly, cruising to victory, or the remora on his shark, cruising to victory. And I wonder, like, do I have it in me? Do I have what it takes? And then me and 2 other of our friends, who I would say are of like similar quality. It's not like we have an Andrew in our group without it. And we got a win, and we were all, I think, all kind of excited that it was a non-Andrew win. Not that we didn't want Andrew there. No, not that we don't want Andrew there. Just that we proved to ourselves that, like, hey, we're good enough. We can do it if we have to. So it was a special moment for all of us.
Myself.
No, when you're there, we feel way better because we'll all die, and then he'll run around doing all these maneuvers to bring us back, and like, oh, Andrew, I tripped over a rock and died again. Can you bring me back? He's like, oh, fine. Let me go get $4,000. Anyway, that was a bit of a deep
never
cut.
say, fine.
Hey, let me just give a very quick shout out to Scotty Layton, who just liked the stream. Thanks, Scotty. Glad you're here, man.
Thanks, Scotty. And then last but not least, I ordered a new pen because I was going through my goals. Ooh, dropped one. Good thing I ordered a new one. Anyway, I was going through my goals, and one of my goals I had was if I get an A in the course I'm in, I get to buy myself like a pen. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to give myself my little reward. So as long as I didn't totally guff that interview, I got an A, I think. So I pre-ordered that pen.
You pre-ordered the pen without getting the grade first?
Yeah, I'm really tempted fate, aren't I?
That is a bit presumptuous if you're asking my opinion.
It was a bit. I'd have to have really whiffed that interview though. But yeah, I did order a not crazy expensive pen. So I'm excited for that though, whenever it comes in.
Well, luckily, if you did whiff it, it's out there on the internets for all to see. I'm sure we can get that footage. Hey guys, they'll use it in the future as what not to do.
And Melissa just gave me a sideways look, and I remembered I haven't actually told her that I ordered that pen. So I have a conversation after this podcast is over.
Which, folks,
anyway,
you wouldn't think that would be a big deal ordering a pen, but no, this is not some Bic pen. This is like a fountain pen
It's my reward.
It's tipped with gold and I don't know it.
The best pens are gold tipped, but I don't have any.
It's got. I'm pretty sure
That's funny.
It's got Bluetooth, and it vibrates when it's time for you to put the pen down and stretch your hand. Lucas,
some of you may remember Lucas gave me one of those pens for my birthday.
Whatever happened to that?
I officially gave up on it. I told Lucas I officially retired the pen because I'm left-handed and it's just a disaster because you just drag your hand through the ink, and I would try and be careful and kind of like just like my hand would be all contorted trying to write. And I texted him. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I'm done. So I gave it a good shot.
It's funny because after I gave him the present, I was like, radio silent. I'm like, guessing it hasn't really been the hit I hoped it might be, but I've decided, while I may give people pens in the future, I will no longer be giving people fountain pens unless they express interest in them.
Listen.
So, Brad, your birthday's coming up. You can not worry about it. You will not be getting
I think it's really, genuinely, I really like it. It's cool. But as a left-handed person, I just don't think it's for me, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, I felt cool using it, but it just, everything was smudged.
It's Smudge City. It's Smudge City. What's Dwight saying here? He said, "I ain't looking at your pen with the gold tip." He thinks he's quoting DC Talk.
That Dwight, must be from New Thang. I don't know that particular.
Nice
album.
to see you, Monica. Nice to see you as well. Andrew, come on, man. What's been going on with you? Have you been working? Is there a new computer in the mix? Tell us about your life.
Come on. Like, why are you gonna ruin it?
I'm
done. I'm leaving.
Oh, can I have your old computer? Is it too soon?
All right. So things are like really ramping up for me at work. Not that I was doing nothing, but we took it pretty slow, like in terms of returning to programming and things like that at our church. And there was no pressure to do that, really. It was just like, let's be cautious about everything.
Yep.
And so now I'm starting to ramp up some of my programs and doing some activities and stuff, and I'm like, how do I plan things? Me no remember. But it's good. I'm excited. We have our kids program starting again on Sunday mornings this coming Sunday, and so I'm excited to have some kids and interact with them, and I got a few other things in the works, and it's just it's good to be going back to that. I spent a lot of time, as I've talked about a bunch of times, doing video editing and all that aspect of putting together online church and things like that. So now I'm kind of transitioning a bit out of that and back into the job that they hired me to do. And so it's going to be good. And I have this big grand plan of like these events leading up to like the fall, because the fall I want to kind of be able to hit the ground running, and I'm going to use this time from now to the fall as like a buffer to get people back into like doing things.
You're in ministry spring training,
basically. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I'm trying to remember how to plan one, and I have to remind people they used to come to them.
Bible study? No, never heard of that. I don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited because I'm getting a new computer. I ordered it yesterday, and this is actually my first computer that since I've been at the church, because my computer was really half decent when I arrived, so I just kind of said I'll use mine. It's no big deal, but doing all the editing and all that stuff, my computer, it as soon as I do turn on like the video editing program, my computer's just like. Like the fan is just
sigh, like
full blast, and so I finally said, listen, I think it's time, and they were really cool about it, and they were just like, show us what you want, and they were like, sure, get it. So
was that the best day of research ever?
So I was watching all these YouTube videos, and I actually like really dodged a bullet because I was leaning in one way. I ordered another Mac, and I was leaning towards like a iMac, like not a laptop kind of thing. But those are all like the old processors, and they have these new ones that I didn't know anything about, and so I researched that, and it turns out they're awesome. So I went with a MacBook Air, which is what I have now. Has your church heard of 1080p?
Hey, Mom. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to jump in earlier. Has anyone? This is again Dwight, and I love reading his comments. And by the way, has anyone noticed the 1080p, the vibrant colors, the high def sound? Is that the Shekinah glory I can now see? Apparently, the scales have come off Dwight's eyes, and now he can see.
Anyway, so next time, probably won't be next week, but 2 weeks time, I'll be on a computer, and you won't notice anything different.
Well, probably will.
We'll know.
The camera height will probably be different.
Probably not. It's actually still a 720p camera. It's like top of the line Apple computer 720p camera.
A FaceTime? Look, really?
Yeah. That was like the main complaint that I saw in all the reviews. They're like, what the heck is Apple doing?
What a weird.
What are we, cave people? 720.
Oh my!
I know Dwight's going to be appalled when he hears this.
He can't believe it. He's probably seeing you in 720 right now. Well, there you go. Anything? Okay, so you're back to work and the new computer's coming in. That's exciting, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So on Sunday, so I was on vacation, as you know, and on Sunday it was a really nice day, and the kids, Jaden wanted to get his bike out of the shed, and everything from summer and before was all stuffed in the shed. So the bike was packed near the back. So I had to unpack our shed, which meant taking out trampoline stuff, which meant taking out the lawn chairs and the tables, and this is all to get this bike out. So then I looked around, I'm like, all right, I'm committed.
I'm just gonna buy a new bike.
Yeah, I'm committed. So I put the trampoline together and twice, and I put the trampoline out. I took the net out, and I'm like, okay. Last year, I remember the door being right beside a post. That seems weird. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. So I hooked everything up because it's broken up into sections, and I hooked it all up. Went to go put the net up and clip it, and it wouldn't clip. It was all wonky because I was one section off, and I'm like, ah! And there's kids all over the street wanting to go on the trampoline because we're the first ones to get it out, and I'm like,
snow boots.
So took that down again and fixed it and got the trampoline up and got the barbecue out and we've barbecued every day since Sunday. It's been so good. Loving that, and got the fire pit out. Got the bikes and everything out.
A little premature, Brad.
Absolutely
premature.
Absolutely not. The kids are just having a blast on our street playing with all this stuff. Got the basketball net set up and out by the road now. So kids are playing basketball. They're having a great time.
So what you're saying is you're wealthy. You have a lot of stuff.
No. So the basketball net showed up as someone was on their way to the dump. It was on its way. And they said, do you want anything from the back of this trailer? It's friends of ours here from the church. I mean,
do you want some of my dumb stuff?
Well, no, it was all still good, but they're
like someone who'd be happy to get dumped to get my refuse.
There's another story I'll tell another time. I don't know about PEI, but is PEI getting 4 days straight of snow starting Friday? I haven't looked. I'll find out later and plan accordingly. Thanks.
Are we?
Okay.
Best dumb stuff ever. Yeah, you're not kidding. So anyway, we're embracing spring life, and that's a thing. The other thing, and you all know it because it's been happening on this Facebook page, and you guys have been chiming in every now and then, was I spent the last week over March break playing Zelda on the Switch and loving it. My problem now is that I don't want to play Zelda unless I'm streaming it.
And doesn't count unless everyone else sees it.
Well, but what's been really cool is the couple of times I've had Jaden with me, he's really enjoying it, and it's something that really interests him in streaming. And he's like, Dad, can I press the go live button? And all this kind of stuff. And it's just these cool moments. And because he watches streamers all the time, and he wants to be able to do that and stream Minecraft. So I'm trying to figure out what that looks like, because one of the things that I don't remember who said it, but it was find out what your kids are passionate about and get into that with them. and just do it with them, because it's the time spent together doing these things. So I'm like, you know what? If Jaden wants, he's getting outside and he's playing, and if he wants to stream a video game, then I need to make that happen with him, because I don't have much time, right? And I mean, I'm not dying. I just mean that he's
gonna say, like, can you tell us?
No, but he's gonna get,
you know,
he's gonna get older. And anyway, so there's the whole streaming Zelda experience, and I absolutely love that. And as we've alluded to, and well, just straight up said, we've made it into the Level Up program now on Facebook. What I don't know, and I can't find really any documentation, is if we're not streaming video games at that same level, do we get demoted? So we'll find out. But there's a whole other level above this, a partner program that they've got, but I really don't know that we would actually be able to get that.
It's not easy to get partnered.
I can't imagine. So anyway, so we're in the Level Up program, which means we can now stream at the higher quality and all that. And there's something I didn't even realize, they're called stars, that people can send once it's set up. But that's basically a monetization thing, where for every star that someone sends us, we get 1 cent US. So,
oh yeah.
So you start sending those stars in, and my commitment to you is, if we get enough stars, we will buy Andrew a webcam that does 1080p, so that you can at least enjoy that. For that
does 730.
That's yeah, just a little bit better. And the last thing is this, and I'm not sure, this could be a longer conversation. So the church streams to Facebook. And so like our church ministry, streams to YouTube and Facebook. And to YouTube, it's 1080. You could do whatever. Facebook is still 720. And so I said in our staff meeting today, I'm like, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to be streaming like Zelda or something on the church Facebook page. Hold on, so that we can up the quality. But I would like to up the quality. And okay, Lucas, I'll get to you, then I'll tell you quickly what happened. Because
look at a smirk on his face.
Go on.
Are you gonna stream that old Bible game, like the Holy Spirit Zelda knockoff or whatever? You got to do that one.
Yes, sir.
Ah, nice.
You ruined it. You ruined his story.
What Pastor Dave said, though, to me was phenomenal. He said, and I will get the words wrong, but the thrust of it was, is there a way to use this seeming issue from Facebook? Is there a way that we can actually use this to our advantage? Is there some kind of ministry here that we could do? Maybe it's once a week, once a month. Is there something we could do with our youth? Because video game streaming is taking off, and so many that industry is massive. And there are some Christian streamers that are out there that are using it as a platform to game and just have conversation. So we're kind of asking the questions, is there something there for us as well? Is there something that we could do with that? That's a longer conversation, but let me just say how much I love being in a place where those are the conversations that we're having. Like, okay.
I want to know what Dwight thinks.
Yeah, I'm sure Dwight will tell us.
Uncharacteristically silent on this.
Yeah. Maybe we finally got him.
He left. He's long gone.
So I don't know what's going to come of that. But I think it's really cool to be in a place where those are the types of, conversations that you're having. Like, is there a live stream ministry that could happen through the church for the glory of God, and to get that 1080p? So Lucas, that's what's been going on with me. You can take some popular. Oh, can you take some popular songs and write some Christian songs too? Christian lyrics too? Yeah, that's totally a thing you can do.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Much.
Dwight, listen, I have to know, and maybe you can tell us, is this therapeutic for you? Like coming in here and razzing us, is this how you stay sane? Because I know that you deal with everyone else's garbage day in and day out. Not all garbage, but
he's holding in all the smarmy comments that he wants to drop on them,
and he's bringing them to us. Listen, the three,
which I love, by the way.
Me too. We've got broad shoulders. We can take it. Bring it. That was definitely a mistake.
I'm one comment away from quitting.
Let's toss to Lucas and the Lucas.
Best and the rest.
We suck.
I was waiting for the stinger, then I thought there wasn't one. Okay, best and the rest. So we've played this last few weeks, not counting our.
Oh my word! Sorry, are you seeing Dwight? He's back.
I pre-write this. Very good, Dwight. Now, maybe Dwight can chip in on this best and the rest. So best and the rest is when I give us a category, Scotty, and you have to give us the best version of that thing you've ever experienced and the worst version of that thing you've ever experienced. We've done animal interactions. I forget the first one we did, but today's is going to be.
We've only done 2. We've only done 2.
I forget. What was it?
I don't know. I forget too.
I wrote it down somewhere. I'm sure it was
Doesn't matter.
Gold.
Yeah.
Dwight would know. It was. I can't read my writing. So, advice. It was advice. That's what it was.
Oh, that's right.
Now, so this week is vacation. So, what is the best vacation or trip experience you've ever had, or the worst and the worst one? So, I'll start us off since it's my deal. For best, I had a really hard time because I feel like most of my vacations would go into like great, like most of them I really enjoy.
Bragger.
So I know. Sorry. I've had some doozies too, but I can't think of one that like goes way above, right? So a couple of ones I was thinking of is a couple like pre-COVID summer, whatever year that was. We did a trip with Melissa's family, and we went to New Hampshire. We got this awesome Airbnb that's like a cottage on this cool lake, and it was close to Storyland, which is like a discount, no-name knockoff Disneyland, but small.
It's a terrible version of Santa's Village.
Yeah, sure. But it was great for our kids, and it was super fun. And they included kayaks and stuff. So we had a great week, and we did some shopping and all that stuff. It was a fun, great week with family, and I really enjoyed that. And then the other one I thought of, which is kind of an old one, is I used to love staff vacation when I worked at camp. And I was thinking those were like super fun because you get to go with because I think when we worked at camp, it was like work, you had fun, but like you worked. So it was rare that you got to just like go out and do whatever. And also we remember our camp's in the middle of nowhere. So going to Sussex was a big deal, let alone getting to go to Moncton was a huge deal. So, and we go there and do go-karting and go on the beach and all kinds of stuff. So I remember that being like super, super fun as a kid. Well, as a teen. I was a cool teen. And then for worst, I think that would be we had just gotten our tent trailer, and we were at the Pine Cone Resort, I guess you would say, in Penobscot, New Brunswick, in the shadow of the mine.
Your hometown.
Yeah, my hometown. Penobscot for life. Anyway, so we were there. And like it was pretty good. Like we hadn't gone to camp. I loved camping as a kid, but I was really struggling with the notion of camping with little kids. I found it to be I didn't feel like it was worth it. But anyway, we were going because I felt it was a thing to do. So we're there. So I have the great attitude. That's the important thing, is that a great attitude going in. And we get there, and like it was a bit of a hassle. And then like every time we go camping, one of our kids is like can't go to sleep, and we hadn't done a lot of camping, so we were like, we stick to the home schedule. So we were trying to put our kids to bed at like 7:30 or whatever. And it's like light outside. And the kids are like seeing all the bright light, hear kids running around. We're like, no, it's bedtime. Now we run them till dark and then put them to bed, and it's fine. And we tire them.
Let them fall asleep wherever.
Yeah. So we did that. And then like at like midnight, some like roving gang of tweens was like outside the bathroom making a bunch of noise, and it wasn't great. And I was like, this is not that great. And at one point I had to like drive one of my kids around because they couldn't go to sleep. So I was like driving around trying to tire them out because we had a baby at the time. Because camping with a baby is like the best. And then at around
is this best or worst?
4 a.m,
I've lost the plot.
This is worse. And then 4 a.m, Esther, who would have been like 2 or 3, she gets out of her sleeping bag, she stands up, and she vomits all over our tent trailer. And this was the exclamation point on our whole trip. And like, obviously, I'm not to get too graphic here, but like, it never smells good, but I've never smelled a smell like that before. I don't know what caused it, but it was the most unholy thing I've ever smelled in my life. And so at that point I looked at Melissa, I said, I think we pull the plug on this. I think we tap out. And we did. We packed it up and like cleaned it up as best we could, mostly Melissa, because I could not go back in that room. and we packed it up and we went home. And we're like,
At 4 in the
so we're
morning?
driving home at like 6 a.m.
Ooh.
back to Fredericton. We're like, let us never speak of this again. That was pretty brutal. Yeah. But what a fun.
I love that you Lucas it though.
I
did.
Just a vacation.
Congratulations.
No, but you know what? I would have been the same thing. I would have been like, it's time.
There's
Let
no
us go.
redeeming this.
Dwight says, okay, you win. Bring back Zelda.
All right, so I don't want to go. That was more than enough sharing for me. How about you guys? Who wants to give me a best and a worst?
I can go.
Please.
Go for it.
So my best vacation was right after Tiffany and I got married, and we were like, we should go to Disney World sometime. We should like start saving for Disney World. And so we ended up talking to my parents about it, and then we just kind of like made it happen. We just planned this trip for like, I think this was like winter.
Is there a
planned
train
it for the.
Is there a train going by someone's place?
That's my washing machine. She's loud. Anyways, we planned this trip to Disney World, and it just worked out really well. Like we got really cheap like accommodations for the week. Not like bad, but just like cheap accommodations. And my dad ended up getting us like all flights for like almost nothing with like all of his air miles. And so then we like turned this trip into a week at Disney World or Florida, into a week at Florida, and then we drove to the coast, and then we hopped on a cruise ship, and then we spent a week on a cruise ship. So we were gone for 2 weeks, and we had no kids at the time, so it was just like we were the kids, and we did whatever we wanted, and we had so much fun. We did like as many parks as we could afford to go to, and then we were literally, the only downside is we were so tired by the time we got to the cruise that all we did was leave our cabin and eat, and then we'd just like go back and rest, like because we were so tired.
That's the dream.
But they put movies on. There was a movie every night in your room. It was really cool. But it was an awesome trip. Everything went as I was actually unemployed at the time. It was like right after I left my sucky job. So all I did, I threw every bit of my energy I had and focus into planning every T of the vacation. Everything was down to a T, and I was calling like hotel rooms and like making sure we were getting like the cheapest solution and stuff. Anyways, it was really fun. We just couldn't have had a smoother trip, and I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but it was a sweet trip. And my worst, oh man, Tiffany, what was the other one? I had two examples and I forget one already. I don't really have a worst vacation because we really, that was like the one vacation. But I have a couple examples of like terrible times away. So we in a hotel room. So right after Oliver was born, I was training for a marathon in Fredericton. And we decided we'd stay the night in Fredericton so that I could just get up in the morning and go. You know, didn't have to worry because you have to be up early and everything. So we stayed at the Lord Beaverbrook there. That's like a pretty nice hotel downtown. It was like a group rate or whatever. And so it was me, Tiffany, and Oliver, and we tried to put Oliver to sleep. I was so focused on getting to sleep myself, like because I just wanted to like be asleep and rested. And Oliver was asleep, and we went to bed. And then at midnight, the alarm clock went off and woke up Oliver. And Oliver did not go back to sleep.
Oh.
He cried the entire night, and I am literally just freaking out because I'm trying to sleep. Tiffany has him in the bathroom, and she's like in tears because she can't get him to stop crying, and I'm lying there like trying to sleep. And anyways, it was the worst experience of my life in terms of trying to sleep in a hotel. But we made it through. And there was another one. I completely forget what it is, but I talked enough anyways, so
I can't imagine that. Just hearing that story makes me feel sick. Like thinking about the stress of like I have some super hard thing to do tomorrow, and I need to get to sleep, and then being like betrayed by your own alarm clock, like that's the worst.
But I got a discount on the room because I said the alarm clock woke us up at midnight and my child did not go back to sleep.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Also the it was April, but it was just like unseasonably warm. It was like the hottest day and the air conditioning was broke in our room, and they came and fixed it twice. And it never got fixed. And so anyways,
set your alarm clock while they were there.
yeah, so we got like half off the room, which is pretty sweet, but it was not worth it. I would have paid full price.
That's right. Brutal. All right, Mr. Brad, how about you?
Oh, brother. I said to you before we started, I found it easy to pick the best. Because for me, you remember the best, and you try to forget.
Live the charmed life. We get it.
You've
been on so many missions trips and stuff. I feel like there's got to be a dud in the mix.
Those aren't vacations.
Thank you, Andrew. I knew someone was going to try that. That is garbage. I'm not sure where to start because to talk about my worst may sting a bit for a lot of people. So I think my worst vacations have been the ones that I've taken at Big Lake Camp. and the reason, and I love Big Lake Camp, so please don't hear what I'm not saying. But then when I tell you why my best is my best, you'll kind of understand.
Because I wasn't at Big Lake Camp.
Well, no. And it wasn't necessarily anything like I remember like there was one year at camp that we went and we were in a tent and Harmony was a toddler and Jaden was it might have just been Harmony was in like a crib in the tent with us, and it's just like I hate tent life anyway. So to be at camp doing that really sucked. Then we went to the tent trailer, and I remember like one night the tent trailer wasn't balanced right and it like whoomp. And that was
Your
fun.
kids get launched across the playground.
But like for me, vacation is, and this is just me, vacation is like relaxing. And so like I'm just coming off vacation, but it was March break vacation, which and it's like a COVID March break vacation is not really a restful time. And Mandy and I are totally different when it comes to vacation. What you would do. Mandy would very much and she can speak to this if she's still on here or not, would much rather plan it out, travel, go see as many people type of thing as you can. Where me, I'd much rather relax and veg. Mm-hmm. Like we see people all the time. We deal with people all the time. Right. And I get that it's an opportunity to travel. But then like Big Lake, I really do love Big Lake Camp. But the reason it's the worst is because there's so many people everywhere. It's not really a private, just resting, relaxing thing. And there were moments of that for sure. But for me, the best was this last summer when we wound up, like we obviously moved to PEI, last year, and wound up buying a camper and parking it on the beach where like I grew up every summer and all that. And so we spent a week at the beach, and there was nobody. It was just us and the beach. My mom and my aunt were one lot over, but we had privacy. I got to run on the beach. We got to go swimming with the seals. That was dangerous, but like it was restful. I mean, I put a lot of work into the camper, but I enjoyed that. I hated the fact though that because we lived so far out, we had to travel. I didn't say that, Dwight. Don't put words in my mouth. I love Big Lake Camp. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for Big Lake Camp and its investment in me. But for vacation, as a pastor on this district, when you're based in the church that's 10 minutes away, it's kind of hard to just separate and detach. Anyway, so that was my best. I'm also trying, like, they weren't vacation because they were mission trips, so they don't count. Oh, my soul, I don't hate camp, Andrew. What are you doing to me? But you're right. I've got to do a lot of trips, which has, oh, my soul. Guys, I'm gonna get fired. Let's see here.
Big Lake Camp, a garbage place for garbage people.
Let's just take care of that.
Oh,
Take
man.
care of that.
But Brad, to be honest, while you're deleting my comment, taking away my agency, I understand what you mean. Like if you are, especially for you, because if you work in ministry, it's supposed to be a restful place, but also like you're probably always kind of on call. And plus, you're talking about trying to camp with small children, which I think is a fool's errand at best, unless you're just a better person than me, which is not that hard.
What made it even more difficult for me was living 10 minutes away from all my amenities like internet and like everything that makes it easier dealing with my children.
A bed that can't deflate.
I gotta go to the bathroom, Andy. I'll be right back. Drive home.
Do one of you like have it copied and you just keep copying and pasting? I'm trying to delete your comments and it won't go away.
I promise.
It says comment removed by moderator.
I'm so close to accidentally clicking end stream. This is why I didn't want to say it, because I knew that something like this would happen.
Here, look, if I do this and just do a bunch of random letters, I didn't mean the first one to be F. That sounds bad, but then you won't be able to see it anymore. See, look, it's gone. There you go. We can rest it.
Oh, my soul.
But
Lucas.
Dwight took a screen capper shirt. He's going to make a T-shirt out of it.
Yep. Wow, this took a weird turn. Oh, my soul. Andrew, did you get my text message? Oh, yep. Sorry, I didn't get yours. All right. Well, Lucas, next week, do your best in the best in the rest. Make it podcast episodes.
I know the worst.
I know the worst.
I think I found the worst.
Not this one.
But we've been, and like the three of us have all had fantastic vacations, and we've had some stinkers, and that just happens.
And to be fair, and I think we probably would also, we've all had more good ones than bad ones. Although I think I do feel heartened by the fact that you all share the same. Well, maybe I don't know if Andrew chimed in about Tiffany, which means he's smarter than us, but like that you and I both have this thing where like Melissa wants to squeeze as much into a vacation as possible, and I'm trying to do as little as possible to kind of chill out or whatever. But I think we've helped each other balance out some over the years. So
yeah, I don't know that we found that balance.
On the opposite extreme.
You're in the opposite.
So, no, I mean like I would be like way extreme. Maybe I'll get out of bed.
Well, I remember you talked about your cruise vacation. You're like, and basically we would just go out and eat the food and then sit in our room and watch a movie. I was like, that sounds glorious.
Yeah,
I was
sunny out there, eh? Well, see ya.
You know what though? I will say this, and the week that we spent at the beach at West Point, like I had 2 weeks of vacation, so that whole vacation we actually, Mandy and I compromised, and the first week was the beach. Just the beach. Nobody, nothing, no plans, nada. Then the next week was the traveling. We went to Oxford and went to Big Lake Camp and stayed there. Where did we stay? I don't remember. And we went to Mandy's parents and stuff like that. Like we did the traveling on the second week. So, for us, if you take 2 weeks, we just kind of compromise. There's the week of eating shrimp in bed with a drop cloth. And then there's the week of the itinerary.
I think one thing that the Nazarenes have going for them, and the Wesleyans too, is you guys.
Hold on, Dwight, pay attention. Right. Lucas is about to say what the Nazarenes have going for them. All right,
there you go.
Again,
okay. So the Nazarenes and the Wesleyans both have a central hub to hang out at in the summers. Like Big Lake, because Big Lake Camp is a summer camp, but it's also like just a place like randos can go and put up their tent or whatever. Well, like Nazarene randos, not randos, but like so it's kind of cool because I feel like you could see people, and because the Nazarene denomination is relatively small, you could see people. Like it'd be a cool place to see people you might not have seen for a while and stuff. And the Wesleyans have that too. When I was a kid, hearing about Beulah, and I was like, "What is Beulah place? Like, is it a summer camp?" Like, no, not really. It's this other weird thing. But now that I'm older, I get it. Like, it'd be kind of cool to have a place where I could go vacation, but then see friends from back in the day, or just bump into people. I see the appeal of it. The Baptists, because we're so far and wide and we're so legion, we don't have that centralized place. We have a bunch of small. I mean, we have camps, but not the same centralized thing. So anyway, good for you guys.
You need to get your 4 camps or whatever they are, or 5 to create a super camp.
To amalgamate, we'll pick it like the center of New Brunswick where there's nothing else around, and find a lake somewhere and
There you go.
take it over.
There you go. All right, guys. Is that it, Lucas? Do you feel like we've done enough damage?
I feel we've done enough damage. Although I was kind of hoping some people were gonna on the chat were gonna,
Well, Scotty
did.
Yeah, one of the
I
best.
missed it.
One of the best was with Alicia on the K Love cruise. Was that? What's the K
Was
Love?
it the DC Talk one?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Awesome.
Oh my word.
Awesome time. Worst, as a kid taking a big Grand Manan vacay to St. John and swimming in the pool at the Colonial Inn and almost drowning myself in said gross pool. If it wasn't
Hey,
gross,
they
it'd be fine.
refurbished that place now.
I remember
It's
going
a
to the
days
Kitties on
in
March
now.
break. Ooh, there you go. With a Z.
Dwight,
Yeah.
Dwight, what's
Days
yours with bated breath Sussex? Dwight, what's your worst vacation? You've got to have a stinker in there.
Now, is Dwight from PEI originally, or is he like a mainlander?
Well, these are good questions to ask. Now, Dwight
Is
has
he from here?
He's from away. Dwight, I'm not sure. Dwight, where are you from? Who's your mother? Who's your father? He's got the Ingersoll name, so I'm not sure how far that goes.
That's Wesleyan blood right
Well,
there.
see,
Usually,
it very much is Wesleyan blood. So
yeah, there you go.
now Dwight's pastoring at a Baptist church, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, black sheep of the family, maybe?
I don't vacate. I'd rather burn out for Jesus.
There you go. Look to your elders, everyone.
Oh my word. Oh, okay. Well, listen, let's move on because that was Lucas with the best and the rest. And now, oh my word. It's going to take an even worse turn. Let's go to a tiebreaker.
Okay. So if you've never been here for a tiebreaker, we're going to read you a disagreement, a problem that two people are having, and we are going to decide who wins. Or, if you would, break that tie. If you have a tiebreaker that you would like us to break, you can visit oxfordholyclub.com, and there is a little form there you can fill out. It can be anonymous, and you can let us know who you are if you want, and we'll break that tie for you. And we'd love to do that. We're trained professionals.
Oh, careful. No, we're not.
Oh, I'm being told or not.
But Dwight actually is.
All right, here we go. Pierce writes, several months ago, under duress, I had to describe what the non-ice cream parts of an ice cream sandwich are. I said, ice cream sandwich bread. My girlfriend, after laughing at me, said I was wrong. She Googled and said they're called wafers or cookies. Please order my girlfriend to recognize that ice cream sandwich bread, though not in wide usage, is the superior name.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Pierce. I don't. Although the fact that you had to Google it to come up with the word cookie makes me a little bit worried about her. But bread seems wrong. Bread seems wrong.
Okay, we've all had ice cream Sammies, right? Well, like,
Yes. Well, do you remember at the convenience store near where we used to live? They made their own.
no.
And they were like this thick. You don't remember those from Dunn's or the other
Dunn's.
one? I forget which one.
Air.
Yeah, Air.
I don't remember that. That's fine.
They were cheap and delicious.
Well, yeah. They're called wafers. See, like, I don't think they're wafers because for me, a wafer's got more substance. Like, it's got a crunch and it's like there's a layer in a wafer that seems more.
Think about communion wafers.
Right. Okay.
That would line up with the thinness.
Yeah. So, would we agree that the thing that's holding this ice cream together is not a wafer? And yes, clearly, Dwight, we want to hear how.
Yeah, we want to hear how you christened it. Champagne?
I'm going to be honest. I really like ice cream sandwich bread, and I will forever now use that term.
Okay. So, is that it? Are we done?
Well,
Lucas
I
is against
disagree
it.
strongly.
Well, but
Andrew
why?
agrees strongly. So, Brad, ball's in your court.
Well, I don't think it's a wafer because the consistency just is not a wafer. I don't think it's a cookie because, again, consistency. When I think of a cookie, I mean, I get that they're soft and hard cookies and everything in between.
Are you getting hung up on wafers because of those like weird triangular ones you can get vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry?
No,
Is that what you're picturing?
I'm hung up. I'm hung up on the consistency of the material.
Wafer's like crispy.
Yes.
Like a Nilla wafer.
I don't know what that is. Is that something old people eat?
I think so. It's like a little biscuit type thing. You could easily make an ice cream sandwich out of. I know that.
Okay, so if it's, what would you say it is, Lucas?
I would have probably said cookie, but I actually think wafer is the perfect word for it.
Defend yourself.
Or
Because to me, a wafer
bread.
is a thin, brittle, edible thing like that. So like a communion wafer, there's wafer cookies. Usually it's like a thin thing, which perfectly describes it. And also the consistency, because it's not quite crunchy like a cookie most of the time. It's got that softness to it, right? So to me, that's it. You know, you got to. So, and apparently on Amazon, you can order 2 pounds of wafers. If once I change my country to who knows where, ice cream sandwich wafers and cookies. So I guess interchangeable. 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Up 2 pounds of wafers will run you. Let's see here. Calculating. Chocolate wafer.
the suspense.
Currently unavailable.
Yeah. Okay. Because they don't exist. I'm looking at it on Google here. I've got the definition, which is a very now. This is not going to help me, but it says a very thin, light, crisp. I don't think in the typical ice cream sandwich I would classify that as crisp. Sweet.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Sweet.
It's a fact.
Sweet. Okay. I would empirically say that bread is not crisp. It is not toasted. If it's crisp, then it's toasted bread. Anyway, a very thin, light, crisp, sweet cookie or cracker. Cracker's a bridge too far for me. Especially now, definitions can be wrong. Especially one of a kind eaten with ice cream. But let me say this: in all the pictures that I'm seeing, thank you, Dwight. In all the pictures that I'm seeing they're like a vanilla wafer. They're not none of the pictures are showing like the chocolate, black ice cream sandwich that we would be used to. So, man, I just don't think I don't think wafer works. You seem to think it's exactly right. I totally disagree with you. And I'm questioning.
I think I'm outvoted on this one.
Okay.
But are you comfortable going with bread?
Hold on. Can we also, just for a second, what kind of duress was Pierce under? Like, tell me what an ice cream sandwich is.
Waterboarding.
Yeah. He was having a rough go of it, eh?
Several months ago, under duress, I had to describe the non-ice cream parts. Like, what kind of interview is this?
Tell me.
Can you, it's like the police thing where they put the light on you. All right. Well, and I don't think it's a cookie. Okay, Lucas, let's find some common ground. Do you think it's a cookie?
I think it's closer to a cookie than, say, a cracker. I also think it's closer to a cracker than to bread. No. Ice cream crackers.
Chocolate bread.
I'm not arguing that it best describes it. I just like calling it.
Of course you are.
You I like calling roast beef roast beast, because why wouldn't you? Right? It's awesome.
Sure.
I had some roast beast on the barbecue today.
Oh, so good.
Well, then I'm casting my vote with Andrew. For once, I think we've actually broken a tie, even amongst ourselves.
Instead of a bunch of meh.
Andrew, this is your segment, buddy. Tie this tiebreaker.
End of tiebreaker.
Oh, my soul.
All right, everyone. You can follow our podcast on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget 1080p, baby. At Oxford Holy Club. If you do use the social medias, please throw out the hashtag OH Club so that we can see it.
That train's going by again.
Not only that, but you can send your questions, tiebreakers, suggestions, and more to us at oxfordholyclub.com. And if you send us stars, I can buy a door for my room.
Or at least a heavy curtain.
Some kind of sound paneling, anything. My goodness. Folks, it might surprise you to know that we don't pay to advertise because, well, we have no money. You heard where our vacations were. Anyway, so any growth that we have comes from you sharing us with others. So please don't forget to click that share button, like, comment, and subscribe, folks. So, you know what? For Andrew Beckwith and Lucas Candy, I am Brad Siliker, reminding you that until next time, keep spiritually fit and have fun.
Have fun.